All right, good morning, Wasteland. Mr. G bringing myself the sweet, sweet coffee and you the sweet, sweet Crossout news and updates. And it's time for another Buffs and Nerf news episode with your favorite Mr. G. So, what do we got today? Well, they've released the mass test server. That is something you guys can check out. I'll put the link to that down in the description. Or we can just read through the patch notes and we can get the quick and dirty, and that's what Mr. G is going to give you. So, we're going to hit these really quick, except if they're big ones, then we'll take a little more time on them. So the meat grinder has had turning radius reduced. Chassis longitudinal traction has been improved. So grinders getting a buff. The biggie in this one, hovers. Both Icarus 4 and Icarus 7s. Yeah, getting, well, we'll talk about this in a second. Power consumption increased from 8 to 12%. They were going to do 14%. They dial it back a bit. They're getting a tonnage increase from 750 to 1200. But basically, it's a nerf. It's just another nerf to make it so it's harder to use a bunch of these and to slow you down. So many hover nerfs, and they keep coming down the pipe. Let me know what you think about that down below in the comments. The Janabi, it's got a bug that's fixed that did not affect all types. Now the ammunition of the Jabuko mine layer is limited. And here is the biggie. They decided, hey, it's time to finally nerf the Kaiju, but it doesn't feel like much of a nerf. There's a recoil increase of 50%. That's pretty meaningless, except maybe on hovers. They have increased the energy consumption to 12, but okay. I mean, you can't run a cloak, I guess, now, or 3 extra secondary objects. And now they've added some flight time to the projectiles. Looks like it was hit scan before, and that there was absolutely no projectile time at all. So those were the latest tweaks. Now there was a whole list more as well. Let's jump over to those and quickly go over those. Because as usual in Crossout, they're always tweaking. They're always trying to change stuff at Targem. So the little boy gets a durability reduction, 7%, hit with a nerf. Spitfire shotgun, great new player weapon. Don't know why they decided to hit that with a nerf bat and give it a damage reduction of 7%. The Phoenix got a reload time reduced by 10%. Got to say, hey, that's a good move right there. But it could still use some love. It'd be nice if they went and they made the model and the hitbox smaller on that. The Yao Guy got a durability increase of 50%. Capcan, they've made it so it affects faster cars less. Mine rate reduced by 25%. Now the rope doesn't affect fast vehicles that much. We were all thinking that should be aimed towards heavy vehicles and less towards fast, but okay. Automatic weapon Caucasus gets a 30% range nerf. Yeah, you've been seeing more of the Caucasus lately. And it's a no-scale weapon, so that's fair. The Dust Cabin gets a damage reduction from its perk from 30 to 20%. So all those guys shooting pyres and homing missiles at you from across the map, well, they're getting a bit of a nerf. Okay, Tracking System Enlightenment. They reduced the reload time from 15 to 14 seconds. It's a super long reload, and it's still super long. I don't know what the point of that is. Now the Janabi Cabin perk works with everything. Fuse drones get more ammo. The Verifier is getting a nerf. Takes 35 seconds to reload. The Chassis Omni. Turning radius reduced. Improved grip. Now it consumes less power. 16 instead of 19%. We're going to have to wait and see if they're going to be more functional Omnis. We're just going to have to wait and see. Armored Tracks. Driving with these has become less twitchy. Improved surface grip. So hopefully they've went through and they've made a pass on all the armored tracks. Hopefully they're running a little bit better. Now this next one is more of a big deal for Clan Wars and Leviathans. The Cockpit Cabin. Maximum bonus damage from the cabin's perk is 50%. Each booster installed gives more bonus damage. 4, 8, and 13. The changes are aimed at making the cabin no longer the main and only cabin for assembling an effective Leviathan, but at the same time for it to become more attractive in regular battles. Yeah, it's rooting Clan Wars in that everyone runs the same Cockpit Leviathan meta. So thank you. I know Tree Burgers was telling them, hey, you got to change this. It's awful. So it looks like they're listening. All right, the favorite cabin. Now in order to charge the perk, you need to drive 20% less distance. The duration of the perk has been reduced from 3 to really another favorite nerf. So my Gravistar favorite builds suck more now. With these changes, we'd like to adjust the excessive efficiency of shotguns in conjunction with this cabin. Basically, you're making it suck. Okay, so let's take a look back to hovers. You can see they were changing a bunch of stuff about hovers, but here was the big nerf. Increase the chassis inertia. Because the thing about hovers was they were able to so quickly change directions, which, you know, completely ignoring physics and Newtonian physics. This was hopefully going to be like, this is going to make him a little harder to readjust and go completely the opposite direction. Okay, so you can imagine that's going to be a pretty big nerf. They agree with many players that the use of wheels and other chassis that don't touch the ground on vehicles with hovers needed to be corrected. We also revised parameters of hovers to make it easier to gain the weight limit on many cabins. At the same time, the dynamics of such builds should not significantly decrease. You may also notice now that Icarus 4 has become the preferred option for heavy tank builds. The changes in the hover vehicle's inertia are primarily aimed at slightly reducing the efficiency of fast builds, whose efficiency has stood out consistently in many tests. Yeah, hover is better than everything, pretty much most of the time. So we'll see how that goes. All right, what else? The Reaper, maximum spread and motion reduced. A tiny little buff to that. Kaiju Reload gets a nerf. The Annihilator reduces cabin power by 5% instead of 6%, so a slight little nerf. The Jabuko is getting ammunition nerf, but a buff to distance at which the wires attach. So guys, that's the quick and dirty rundown. All the changes Targum is working on. Definitely they seem to be going with the nerf approach. I guess they're worried about there being power creep in the game. They don't seem worried about power creep though when they add brand new weapons, do they? Something to think about. So Targum, thanks for letting us know, and as always, like and subscribe to stay up to date on all things Crossout news. I know I'm a little late to the party on this one, but hey, real life's been crazy. Catch you guys in the next one. Be good, stay safe. Mr. G out.